Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. And new day, new beginning, and don't be misguided by the screen that you see in front of you. And I'll try to explain it to you. Uh, the slogan, "The milk mustache is back, drink whole milk." This is what came uh, into my radar just a few hours back. That's when U.S. president has signed a bill, which is like whole milk bill, and for the schools, that's basically a program in most of the developed countries where the schools they are home to the first nutrition patronage of the children, the kids, and in a very calculated manner. These diets are planned so that without any divide of household economical status, the kids receive their uh, first meals uh, in a very wholesome manner. That's what the entire thing is. So, um, keeping to the topic, uh, in previous administration times, precisely it's during the term of President Obama, what happened was that there was a lot of medical debate that the milk given to the children in schools, it has to be uh, low fat milk. Now, just to give you an idea, and I'm no expert in food nutrition, just for basic understanding, that when we call about the whole milk, that's the one which has its buttermilk component in it, which is usually made with fats, and it's not been skimmed. Now, I'll come to that thing as well. So it is to the nearest of the purest form of milk which is there, and I did some homework and I understood that actually, like ideally, it's some 87% of the milk is water, and then the rest is the supplements. And when you have a whole milk, it has to be somewhere around 3.5% of the milk fat. Then you come down, then we have the 2%, which is primarily uh, balance between whole milk, and then the last category, which is low fat or skim milk. Skim milk is like, if I'm not wrong, this thing has to have around 0.5% of fat. So previously, the kids, uh, and then the second thing which is related to this is like how much calories you get out of a serving. It can be, I'm not sure about the exact measure, but let's say from a glass of milk. So like whole milk, it goes to the higher side, some 120 plus minus calories, and then you come to the normal one, which is not the normal one, the low fat or skim milk. This comes around some 80s calories per glass of serving. So obesity was seen as a very severe health issue by the previous administration, and with obesity, the load, the strain on the health system, and all the bills associated to it, and people miseries were pain were sick, and the state institutions are unable to pass them the medical facilities. So that becomes an entirely uh, different debate. So what this bill has done is that to remove that cap, and now the schools will be serving this whole milk thing. And then there are what I liked about the entire debate was that it is that due to this, present administration feels that restricting the calories was impacting the overall health and calorie intake of the children, and so for that it is required usually not in US but in developing countries. One of the phenomena is the stunted growth of the children, and we'll come to that. But what this thing stood for by the bill which we are referring to. So it is basically that it removes that cap, gives the choice of the parents to further dive into flavored, unflavored, whole milk, and there's something very interesting that a lot of children were found allergic to lactose or the certain strain of milk, and then this bill passed them the right to opt for a different set of milk as per the recommendation or as per the suitability of the child. And that's something which is very, very important. That it's not one size fits all. It has to be as per the needs. That's good, my year. And yeah, if you go further down, this is going to strengthen their entire daily system and the rural jobs and everything. So primarily it is food security that it's hitting the SDG 2, and then the livelihood SDG 1, and further going into the quality health sector. That's for the overall consumption, and then just for reference broadly, what is agreed as a society or a nation is food secure if it has the availability, it has the access, the stability across the time, and utilization. Uh, that's the four broader areas when we are measuring or focusing on food security. Uh, there's something interesting that I will take you to, and because this debate is like the calories, so I found very uh, interesting thing uh, online, and it's basically those countries which have whose citizens have the highest intake of calories per day. So that means the food security definitely is top notch. But we are just staying with the topic. So you see, we start with the heartland of Europe. It's Belgium, and it has got some 37, 68 uh, calories per person, which is on the rise. And then we have US, it's almost there, it's almost there. Then Ireland, Austria, Luxembourg, Iceland, France, Germany, Turkey. Um, I'll come to it. Poland, Romania, Italy, Israel. Uh, Lovely example from Middle East, Portugal, Canada, Montenegro, Tunisia. That's a good one. Malta, Kuwait. And if I can vanish myself, no, that's not possible. So just forget about the last name. Anyhow, so you see, these things reflect the priorities, the citizens, food availability, food security, and good to see. Yeah, like if I do a rough calculation, like 75% is Europe in this. Then we have a few odd one, not odd one, from different continents. Middle East, we see Kuwait, and then we see Israel is there. Then you go into the other side, and that's good to see Tunisia there representing Africa. And is that the only one? I assume so. Anyhow, that's one. And let's move to this one. And this shows the countries where the calorie intake is lowest. And it's Africa all around, if I can put it like this. And that's unfortunately the divide we overstock. Ethiopia, um, merely 1,500. I read somewhere you need somewhere like 2,600 and 700 calories As a basic standard. I can be wrong. It's just something like this, and it's when it comes to Ethiopia, it's almost half. Over tyranny. Central African Republic, Madagascar, Afghanistan, Zambia, North Korea. That's an interesting one. Bahamas, hmm, Yemen, Chad, Tajikistan, Kenya, Liberia, hmm, Liberia, East Timor, Uganda, Haiti, hmm, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, Venezuela, Maldives, and Guinea. And then that's a tyranny. Every stat, every line reflects millions of lives that are associated to it. And I think just to understand the entire debate of the divide, everything, deprivation, sub, low, and west, and that's very sad. So this shows the priority of states towards their citizen and away from